I got a health scare. Okay, one day I woke up, couldn't breathe. That was something that really shocked me because I was actually relatively fit. The biggest battle that everybody faces is in the mind.
Especially having gone through the process of losing two friends
Yes,
to mental health issues.
Looks wise, right? Everybody can be very insecure when it looks.
Really?
Yeah.
Including the very best looking people?
Yes.
Whoa,
Yes.
you did that really?
Really.
And like, still not good enough. Then the rest of us are like...
The whole ideology of fitness, right? It need not be so complicated. Sometimes less is more.
Less is more.
Because less allows you to create a routine.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because if it's too high maintenance, a routine, like
Too
do
complicated.
you have an oxygen chamber? do you do ice bar, cold plunge in the morning?
The brand seemed very masculine.
Yes.
Almost too much. And the first critic that I had, you will not have women coming to train with you, EJ. So I said, no, I'm not going to bow down. I will show you that I'm going to make a difference.
Yeah. Hey guys, and welcome to yet another episode of the Singaplex After Office Hours podcast. And today we have with us fitness legend EJ.
So I'm EJ Philip. I'm Mr. World Singapore 2023. And I'm also a celebrity trainer in Singapore and the owner of Alabast Fitness.
And he has actually trained some of our previous guests like Titus Low.
Yes, Titus is one of my clients. So
top 1% of OF creators, right? Apparently, the path you are on now was due to the fact that you were working in the nightlife, F&B, bar kind of like partying scene in the past, and you were owner of a establishment.
Yes.
And you yourself were partaking heavily in the alcohol and the partying. Right? You reach what we call the cliche as it might sound, but very true for most people, the rock bottom of your like mid-30s.
Correct. Yeah, so at one point of time I actually went, I was doing property first, then I kind of like ventured out, and it has always been kind of like my goal and my dream to actually own a bar. So then I went down that journey of owning a bar, thinking there was like glitz and glamour, you know. And then, of course, it catches up to you, the drinking, the partying, you know. Every other night is a party, you're here, there, mingling, you know. And then it gets to you, right? And then before you know it, you're putting on weight, you're eating unhealthily, the late nights, you know, the stress.
The stress,
running a bar is stressful, right?
Super stressful.
Yeah, you have to plan, it's so stressful. And so that really actually caught up to me. And then after that, one day I found myself totally overweight. I put on a lot of weight. I was feeling depressed, demoralized, you know, and then just going back to alcohol for just that short.
Totally wrecked.
For that short happiness, you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, so I got a health scare. Okay, one day I woke up, couldn't breathe. That was something that really shocked me because I was actually relatively fit. That was really a wake-up call, right? Full checkup, and the doctor told me, says, okay, hey EJ, all your numbers are off, right? You're high cholesterol, you're having high blood pressure because of the stress. Yeah. And he says, if you continue doing this, you will eventually end up having a heart. And that was really a wake-up call because that was something like the doctor says, hey, you're going to die, do something. Wow. And I stopped and I said, hey, okay, what can I do? So I decided to sell away my bar and I decided to look for other opportunities. So I was like, okay, fine, let's look for other opportunities. So I got a job working at a commercial gym, a big commercial gym. And that was where I started my fitness journey. So when there, I was 37 when I started my fitness journey. And that was really, really very difficult for me because everybody else was younger. And I was the older guy in the whole team trying to start off my fitness journey, like fitness career. And I went for my first competition. So because my friends told me, say, hey, why don't you compete? Went for my first competition, got addicted to competing.
Got addicted?
Yeah, because the thrill of understanding how your body can transform, and with the good food and the training, the correct training.
The regimen.
Yeah, so made me actually open up a whole new ideology of training. And so I tried to implement it to all my clients because you don't need to give them the full 9 yards of a competition prep, but you can just give them enough so that they look so good that they don't believe. And then I started doing my body transformation. So I started my body transformation. Then right after, so COVID happened, gyms all got shut and everything went really slow. Then right after COVID, I decided to, you know what? Let me start my own brand.
Your own brand?
Yeah, so I started my own brand, Alabast Fitness. And I grind out for a co-share gym for a year. And right after that, I opened up my own gym, Alabast Fitness.
Wow.
Started transforming one celebrity. My first celebrity was actually Keegan Kang.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, Paul Foster came on board.
All the actors, models,
Actors,
celebrities.
yeah, so everybody came
and
on.
then
So
the
Miss-
internet people.
Correct. So internet people, Miss Singapore Universe, everybody came
Yeah,
on. So then I started creating a name for myself in the fitness industry with all the celebrities. So yeah, and then I decided to partake in Mr. World, which happened last year. So
okay.
so that was like kind of how I am where I am today.
So EJ, having been through this whole journey of personal and professional transformation, if you were teleported back to your younger self, you could foresee the things you're pursuing now.
Oh no. I mean, if you ask me, I think a good 20 years ago, would I see myself being here exactly doing the things I do? No. I never thought that I would ever be able to have a career in fitness. I never thought that fitness would be a career thing. Although I liked fitness, I liked looking good, but not enough to pursue it as a career.
As a career, right? Yeah,
because it was something that I do because, I need to look good, so I want to go out. Okay, then I go and train. It was that kind of feel, right? It wasn't something that I thought you could actually
make a living from.
Yeah, make a living from, and
professionally.
not only just make a living, right? Actually help people. That's the key point.
Yes.
You are doing what you love and you're helping people. And that is the trinity. That's like so awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, that really, really means a lot because everybody wants to make money, yes. But the job satisfaction, that's different.
Yeah.
And that drives me to become better every time when I train my client, right?
That's true.
So that's very important to me. That's very important.
Nowadays, we live in stressful times. There's a lot of discussion, cost of living, and then.
Of course.
But I guess the lesson we can, learn from this is it really takes some kind of like personal transformation, the willingness to change in order to find that perfect intersection of like, the cliche, like what you're good at, what the market needs, and what you can be paid for, right?
Yeah. So that's called ikigai, right?
Yeah.
Something that you are passionate about,
Yes.
something that makes you money, something that helps the society. Right?
Right.
And something that you're good at.
Yes.
That's ikigai, right? So there's
Hopefully.
Japanese, so there's the Japanese saying, right? I am lucky that I found my ikigai. Not a lot of people get to do that, but I always strongly tell people, hey, go find something you're passionate about. Because when you're passionate about something, it shows in the results that you give. You're not working at all.
Yeah.
And that's very important because you don't want to wake up every day dragging your ass to work.
Yeah.
You want to be able
That's
to go in and do something that you're passionate about. And that passion actually relates to the transformation of people and the work that you get, the level of work that you give. So every day you're 100% on.
I read and heard in one of your previous interviews that your personal philosophy when it comes to body transformation and fitness is that there's the physicality, right?
Yes.
But actually half the battle is actually in our minds.
Correct.
And you're really big on mental health and psychology.
So the biggest battle that everybody face is in the mind, right? Once I strongly believe once you can change your mind, your body follows. Give you an example. It's the first thing you wake up in the morning.
Char kway teow.
Yes. Oh, can I get my roti prata? The first thing.
Yeah, not sponsored. Please sponsor.
So the first thing when you wake up, right? That is your intention for the day.
Yes.
How you start your day, it starts in your mind.
Correct.
If you wake up and you feel like you want to go,
intention for char kway teow.
If you want to go out and eat your char kway teow in the morning, that already predetermines your whole day, right?
Correct.
So that happens in the mind.
Yes.
So if you wake up every morning with the correct mindset and the correct agenda towards your day, you already start the day right. That's already the first portion of the battle won already.
Yeah.
Then after that, getting and planning your day, that's the next thing, right? So it always starts with the mind. So a lot of people fail because they don't have the mind resilience to actually push themselves forward. And that's where it happens, right? So I always believe once you can control your mind, you can control your body.
And would you say nowadays is because of, we're all, addicted to our devices. There's like so much stimuli coming in through email, our messages, our work and things like that, right? That the human mind has actually become weaker and more distracted. That's what the studies say.
Correct. No.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, right? Because at the end of the day, right, we are on our mobile devices. I will tell you like almost 60-70% of the day.
That's true.
We're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok.
Unless you're watching the Singaplex After Hours podcast, of which you should continue to be on your mobile
Strongly
device.
recommend. Please continue doing it.
Like and subscribe.
So that happens, right? So we are always looking at things and our mind is always going, and that keeps us on a constant high, right? We're always looking for the next thing, the next thing. That builds up a lot of pressure in the mind, right? It's not like you're doing something to relax the mind. Half the time when you're relaxing, you're on your phone.
That's true.
Right? So your mind is never relaxed. You never give your mind time to like slowly relax.
No peace.
Yeah. So you're constantly on a high, right? And that definitely has adverse effect.
Facts.
Right? So people need to understand that, okay, there's time for everything, right? And exercise is the only time where you don't really need to see your phone.
But then nowadays in the
But
gym,
then,
you see everyone's phone is there,
yes.
right?
But then you go to the commercial gyms, you see people
Yeah.
on their phone, sitting
yeah.
on the exercise machine, scrolling.
And then people waiting.
And then the next
like,
guy waiting.
Like, bro, when my
Yeah, I mean, I find these people so irritating. Oh my god, I believe all of you guys will agree. These people are so irritating out there. Like,
pet peeve number one, when you
Yeah.
go to a gym and there's some guy on the machine looking at his phone in a relaxed posture.
oh my god, I mean, bro, what's up, bro? So I mean, I strongly believe unless you really need to be on your phone, put your phone in your locker. Then put your phone in your locker. Unless you really need to pick up a phone call,
correct.
put your phone in your locker. Why? Then you can focus on the exercise. When you're consciously in the exercise mode, you get the most of the exercise. You're not just following through motion. You're actually feeling the exercise with your mind, muscle-mind connection.
Correct,
And that's very important for a lot of training. You're just not moving weight. You're actually having the muscle-mind connection with each exercise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this is what a lot of people fail when coming to exercise, right?
So, what do you think is the number one thing people need to do in their mental state before they even embark on the process of like body transformation or fitness?
To begin with, just show up.
To show up.
That's the biggest challenge. People always, I'll do it later. They always procrastinate.
Right.
That's the biggest problem. It starts in the head. I have time.
Yeah.
I can do it later.
Yeah.
But the reality is you don't have time.
After New Year's Eve and after Chinese New Year. Yeah, after Chinese New Year, after the 4 bakwa and the...
You see, everybody has this notion that I'll do it later. It's okay, I have time.
True.
But the reality is, you never know what's going on in your body. If you're already unhealthy, later may not come.
Yeah, correct.
You may never get later, right?
Yeah, what's the quote? You only have each of us only has today. The past has already been written. The future may not happen. Right?
Yeah, so I mean, I deal with clients who has been procrastinating. I actually spoke to one client like a year ago. Right?
Wow.
He told me, "Oh, EJ, I want to sign up, blah blah blah." I say, "Hey, perfect. When you are ready,
Correct.
you come." Because I want you to come in 100% ready, right?
Yeah.
I don't want you to come to 50% and then I have to drag 50% of you in.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, when you're ready. And then I didn't hear from him. And 1 year later, he's like, EJ, now I'm ready. I was like, oh my God. You're finally ready? Okay, now I know you're ready.
I'm calling you from the hospital bed.
hopefully we don't get to that section, right? But that is what it is, right? So people will go into their whole mindset, and when they hit that wall, and then they go like, oh my God, now it's time. Yeah. So everybody is different for them, right? But for them, they must come ready.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, I feel that try not to procrastinate. Do it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do it today. Do baby steps today. Right? Create momentum. Try to do things that you can control. Right? Try to maybe walk a little bit more. Try to cut off certain things from your food. Try to do baby steps. And as you do baby steps more and more, it becomes a lifestyle.
It becomes
slowly,
second nature.
Then slowly it becomes easier. If I ask you tomorrow to cut out everything, start doing everything, of course it's shell shock. Yeah. Your body will be shocked to it, right? Even your mind.
Where the char kway teow?
Cannot eat char kway teow or die. People get it, but it's not about that. It's about understanding why you cannot eat.
Yeah.
Not now, but eventually you'll be able to eat. But then after that, by then you know when and how you can eat it and what you need to do after that.
True.
Right? True. So it's all about understanding what your body needs and how to use fitness to help your body to be better. Because when you feel good, your emotions are better, you feel good, everything, confidence all go back, you look great, everything's better. Right? So it's about getting that wellness. So we always go for this short gratification. I want to eat my char kway teow now.
Yeah, correct.
Right? But we don't go for the long-term gratification. I look good, I feel good.
Correct.
Okay, let me have my char kway teow.
Correct. After that, they go to the surgery clinic. I want a liposuction.
Shortcut. I want a liposuction. So I mean, that's the thing, right? People always try to find the shortest, easiest way to get to where they want because they don't want to put in effort.
That's true. We are all secretly very lazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you have fitness coaches and personal trainers because we don't want to kick your ass, right?
Who would have thought paying someone money will make you more motivated? Because the heart is where the wallet is.
Yes. It hurts.
Yeah, people only do things whenever it hurts, correct?
Correct.
And in having been in this space, train many celebrities and internet content creators, what is one case study that really stands out to you?
One of my celebrity client, Rishi Budrani, he has really changed his life around, and I see the positive impact after coming for this transformation, the positive impact that it has on his life.
Oh, okay.
Like the mindset change.
In all the other aspects of his life.
And his career start to get better because the more confident you feel, the better you feel, the more you attract. Right?
That's true.
Doors
That's
open
true.
up,
Yeah,
and it became so good for him, right? So, and I saw that it's all because he just wanted to take charge of his health. That small change. Of course, it was not easy for him during that period of
process,
time.
right?
But he just stick to it. He had a game plan. I had the program for him, and he followed through. There were bad days where he didn't want to come to the gym. There were great days where he was like, "Okay, let's go." But we just follow through the
program, right?
And before now, we're going through now we're coming to our third transformation already.
Wow.
Because of course, you transform. I put him on a magazine cover. We transform again. So we did some training again, and now we're going for he's turning 40 soon.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is fit
and
functional at 40.
Yeah, functional fitness.
Yes.
That's
So he loves to play football.
Okay.
So we're trying to combine everything to get him to the best shape.
Oh wow.
Physically and also to be able to perform.
Oh, that sounds very positive because usually at 40 people say like it's time to give up football. Time to move off the pitch into the couch.
Yes.
To be one with
to be the one watching.
To be the one manning the barbecue pit.
So I mean, it gets difficult every year. It gets especially and once you hit 40, things really takes a landslide, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't start small and be consistent, then it gets difficult.
It gets worse.
It gets really worse. Yeah. So
that's true. And having trained like people that found a new kind of like wellness in this case the person's life transformed, right? Let's talk about a case study whereby the person trained to make profits of their image, which is one of our previous guest titles, right? we got to. That's what all the viewers really want to hear, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, looking good is part and parcel of being on social media.
Yeah.
Right. And if your job requires you to look a certain way, then of course you have to look a certain way.
Correct.
Because that's social media for you, right?
Yes.
So I mean, of course, everybody goes through. The more important thing for me, of course, the first thing, very important, I address the mental portion of the whole fitness journey.
Yeah.
That's more important to me. I want to know his mind state. I want to know why. And I want to know how can it benefit him mentally.
Yeah. Do you want to earn millions of dollars?
Do you want to take yourself to the next level?
Yeah.
So that is my first portion, right? The mental health. And then from there, once I understand the mental portion of it, then I can really go into the physicality. Then I know how to get him to the best version of the way he wants to be, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, it's all about getting them to be the best versions of what they want, physically and mentally. And that's very important to me.
That aura will
naturally comes out.
Come out and will attract all the fans and the dollar bills.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
right?
don't hate the game, hate the player.
Yes. Of course. I mean, I can just tell you that it's if you're good at something, why not?
Yes, that's true.
Why not? And you can make money. Why not?
Anyone that says they don't want to make money has not really made the amount of money.
Yes, exactly.
Then you also train many models and actresses. You've seen those TikToks, right? The girls like, oh man, that guy's like looking at me at the gym, right? So as a guy trainer training the ladies, right?
Yeah.
How do you navigate this space in this tenuous social media landscape now?
I mean, I think you have to be very professional. At the end of the day, the way you conduct yourself with your client, and it can be as simple as the way you try to describe to them an exercise. You have to be very tactful. I think that's the important word, tactful. The way you also talk to the client, right? Because you have to be very sensitive. You cannot say, so I want you to feel your boobs. You cannot say your boobs. I want you to feel this area. And you cannot point to them. For my male clients, I go and say, can you feel that? But you cannot do it for the female. You have to be very sensitive. Right? So these are things that as you work with the client, you understand the client's touch points and how they are sensitive to something. But of course, you have to be very respectful with the way you say things and the way you conduct yourself, and also with the training procedure, right? Don't put them in awkward positions. Of course, people are looking. You don't do that. Don't do that to your clients, right? You of course make sure I'm gonna make you do this. Are you comfortable?
Correct.
And then they'll say, oh yeah, okay, I don't mind trying. So it's small things that make the client comfortable, and then they trust you that you're doing that for the benefit. Right. So that creates that bond between the client and the trainer.
Is it because you have a stable of incoming, existing, and past female clients. That's why you decided to set up a separate like female-oriented gym.
Yeah, so I always believe, right? So in the whole training program, in the whole gym society, of course there are people who are comfortable being in a community gym. They are comfortable. There are also people who want to go to the gym, but they feel shy. They don't have the confidence, you know. And maybe they have some trauma, right? They never like carrying weights. They're afraid they might look stupid carrying a weight. So they don't want to be judged, right? So because of that, I think female gyms work because then it gives a safe space for women to actually come and train, right? So without being judged.
Without being perceived.
Yeah, because sometimes they can be very they're very cautious about the way they look. Conscious. Oh, do I look good? Or am I too obese, overweight?
Some are like, oh, I look too good. Why nobody like? Right? Yeah.
These are the ones that you actually see in more of the commercial gyms.
Doing the
half the time doing the TikTok, squatting down, ass pose,
squats.
Half the time, So I mean, again. I believe everybody should pay attention to their fitness, and it doesn't matter. If you are uncomfortable, try to find a safe space. I advise people who tell me I go on TikTok, I talk to people, and then people say, "Oh, I want to start gym, but I'm very shy." I said, "Okay, then go to 24-hour gym where you go at night, where there's not many people.
There's nobody."
So you see, there are ways that you can actually go around it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but is the willingness to try. I think it's very important.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So I mean,
it's always about the first step.
Yes.
Like
and that's the most difficult step.
Like addiction. But of course, addicted to the positive stuff.
Correct.
And not like me addicted to coffee. Sponsor.
Coffee.
So, cool. One day maybe Koi will sponsor me after all these cups I've drank over the years.
And it's not healthy, right?
Oh, my one now no sugar.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the first step. See?
Yeah.
See, doing something conscious. That's good. Yes.
Koi, your daily beat. Yeah. So after, being through the whole journey of taking people through this positive experience, there's this other aspect of being a business owner, which not many people talk about. There's this stereotype that people say like, oh, you run your own business. Oh, you must be very free. You're the boss. But actually, it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
you have to do everything.
Of course. As a business owner, the other side is everybody sees, oh, you're a business owner. You're very successful. You have all the time. You have so many stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you don't see the back end stuff where you have to make sure that everything runs properly.
Correct.
You're the guy that actually is the head and also the brain.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to make sure that it keeps on going, right?
Yeah.
And that means that you have some sleepless nights. You don't just finish your work, go back home. Oh, okay, yay, I'm done. You're still thinking.
Yeah, correct.
As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you're always thinking about the next step.
Correct.
How can I make this better? How can I make that better? You're always thinking, right? So you're the first person to be in the door and you're the last person to leave.
The captain goes down with the
Yeah,
ship.
and that's the reality, right? So you are the one that holds all the responsibilities, right? And that is very stressful.
Yes, indeed.
So that's what you have to manage also. So it's definitely not easy.
How have you been able to manage this for these few years, right? Because it's been a while for you, right?
Correct. So it's coming 2 years already.
Yeah.
So of course, the number one thing I always have to be always reinvent yourself. Don't try to like be comfortable where you are, because that creates a lot of problems. You're not looking at the competition, you're not looking at things, and you're not being able to upgrade and deliver a better form of service. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Right? So always be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable. Endure the stress. Go for it. Right? Push yourself to the boundaries. Push yourself to the limit. Think of new ways. Break the norms.
Break the norms, right?
Yeah. So and then you can start to reinvent yourself, get a better product out there for the clients. I think that's very important. So for me, managing this is just really, really getting down on the ground, understanding what the client needs. Right? Talking to the staff, talking to my staff, seeing what's happening, understanding what's going on, and then from there trying to reevaluate, coming out with a whole new game
and then
plan.
tweaking it to make sure that it's known in the market for something.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Because
exactly.
Any casual observer will look at the fitness and like the gym space and think like, oh, it's so saturated, right? And
Correct.
things like that. And they'll feel that it'll be hard to carve out another niche.
Yeah, I think as long as you can deliver the product. When you're having a niche market, you have a product. What is your product? What are you delivering, right? And you make sure that you deliver your product. That's very important because people at the end of the day, they are paying for your product.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And if you cannot deliver, then you are like everybody else
That's
who's
tough.
trying to saturate the market, right? But if you can deliver the product, like my product is body transformation, right? My success rate, I would say it's like what, 98% of my clients have a success rate. And we deliver, we keep the point going, right? So that is my product sale. That's my ultimate selling point, right? So you have to continuously make sure that you are on top of it, right? And then the consumer will see that, hey, okay, you are definitely there because the reviews, the real transformation, and
And in this hyper competitive space, why do you think you've been able to create a niche whereby celebrities and like content creators like to work with you?
So at the end of the day, like I said, I kind of think out of the box, right? I want to go for extremes. That's why the only way to go for extremes is, like I said, I compete for bodybuilding. I am able to bring you to the level where it's almost bodybuilding standards.
Wow.
Right? That means I can break down the bodybuilding training and the diet and what goes into the whole program into the layman for the layman. To make you understand what I'm going through as a competitor on a different level. I'll bring it down, scale it down, break it down so that it's easier and palatable for you. So that you are also able to duplicate the system and get almost the same results. So this is results that we're talking about, like photo shoot ready, magazine ready, that kind of results.
Film shooting ready and things like that, right?
So things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So in all your time interacting with different personalities that are, in the public spotlight, whether through traditional media or digital, right? What do you think is one common thing all people worry about, no matter how prominent they are?
One common thing, everybody got their own insecurities. Everybody got their insecurities.
So it's always a varied
it varies from people to people, depending on how they are perceived by the media, how people look at them, it's very, very different.
What was one instance that stood out to you that you didn't expect this to be an insecurity with a particular celebrity or personality?
I think for the matter, looks wise, right? Everybody can be very insecure when it looks.
Really? Including the very best looking people?
Yes.
Whoa,
Yes.
you did that really?
Really.
And still not good enough. Then the rest of us are like...
There are instances where I train certain good-looking celebrities and they don't feel like they are that good-looking. I'm like, have you looked at yourself in the mirror?
Have you taken the MRT?
Yes.
And walked with all of us unwashed masses? And the peasants?
So I'm like, okay, so everybody has their own insecurity.
I see.
So it's of course it's their own insecurity, but again, they have their own way of dealing with it.
I see.
Yeah, so it's okay. So sometimes it's not really very, very, it can be seen, but in that.
I see.
Yeah.
So I think that's human nature. It's
Correct.
never enough.
Of course.
Right? It's never enough,
of
right?
course, it's definitely
That's why we still wake up and continue on the hustle, right?
Yeah, it's a mindset, right? We always think that we're never good enough.
Correct.
That's the thing. We always give negative connotations to ourselves.
Yes.
That we're not good enough, we may not be able to do this. And that's doubting belief, right?
That's true.
Once you can overcome that,
Yeah.
you see so many things that you can achieve. And that starts from the mind again.
Yeah, and what was that? The Tony Robbins, the limiting self-beliefs, right?
Yes.
And what that's the very Western kind of like, popularized tagline. What do you think is the Asian tagline?
Wow.
Being in Asia, in Singapore, at the intersection of East and West, what do you think is something like as Singaporeans or as Asians that like holds us back?
Holds us back. If I do like that way, people say how? They always
people say how?
If I do like that way, people say how? It's the thought of other people.
Other people say, right?
Yes, that's the only thing. We worry so much about what other people think.
Yes, correct.
If we let people direct
your
our
life.
narrative, which is not true.
This you will be broke and homeless next time.
True. So and it happens, right? So
that's
that's what I feel happens, and we've been programmed to
correct.
worrying what people think about us.
Later,
actually people don't
say,
care.
actually people very worried about themselves.
So it's then it becomes like, I have to do this because I have to create a facade because what people are going to think about me, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So then you are living other people's narrative.
Yeah, that's bad, guys. Never live anyone's narrative.
Yeah, it's your own narrative. You create what you want to do, right?
And especially nowadays in 2024, we're living in the age of content.
Yeah.
Right?
So everything can be anything.
Yeah. And having, built theoretically a brand new career from where you were some years back, right?
Yep.
And there's a lot of talk nowadays about people like AI, technology, job change, job
Correct.
insecurity. So having been someone that has personally crafted a new path for yourself, what will you say to some of our listeners that are now like maybe they're feeling stuck in life, they're trying to break through or find a new path for themselves, or they think they're too old or it's too late,
So to me, firstly, age is just a number.
Mm.
Really, in terms of trying to start off fitness, trying to start off new brands, trying to start off something new, right? Again, if you don't take the jump, you'll never know,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
Most come to most, if you don't do it, if you do it, what happens? You're gonna learn a lesson.
Correct.
It's for you or not. But you never know what's gonna bring you, right? If I had stopped myself and say, hey, maybe just continue being in the bar scene, I would never be where I am today. I would never be able to transform so many people and touch people's life. Right? So it's always, of course, the unknown is very scary. It's very scary to venture in the unknown. But sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith, right? And trust that you are going to make it happen. Right?
You only you have the power to.
Nobody else can push you off that ledge.
Correct. That's
but
true.
You have to say, you know what? I'm going to do it. Then just do it. Do it with full commitment. And then see things do change.
And so if you were not a fitness professional, neither were you in your past job a nightlife and bar owner, neither were you a property professional, a realtor, what will you be doing?
One star. 100%.
Yeah. Later go home, the girlfriend, hey, what?
Please cut that out.
No. This is going into the clips.
Please cut that out.
So, but then everyone thinks like they can be the porn star until they are required to perform on set every day, right? Yeah.
And then they realize the whole new mental stress.
Yeah. They realize, oh, the lights are too bright.
It's not easy, trust me. Not that I've done it, but
yeah. Yes, dabbled. No.
I shall not agree nor disagree.
Yeah, with that, right? Correct. Other than aspiring to be a porn star.
No.
What else would it be?
I really don't know because I was very into F&B, right?
Yeah.
So I really like the F&B scene. But the only problem with the F&B, which I realized after so long, the long hours, you don't have a work-life balance.
Yes,
that's
totally.
As you go older, you want work-life balance. You
Yeah.
want to spend time with your family and your loved ones.
Yes,
and that becomes so much more important. Really, everybody now is talking about work-life balance. That becomes an issue, right? Because when you work in the service industry, technically you're up at 10 o'clock and you're back at like almost 10, 11 o'clock, right? And that's long hours to be away from your family, right? So it's quite difficult if you're having a kid going up, blah, blah, blah. It's very difficult. So definitely something along the lines with like better work-life balance gives you enough time for you to spend time with your family.
I guess everyone is trying to find that, right? The thing that they can work on but yet not burn their whole life just so to make it happen, right? I think it's a common theme with you and as well as with a lot of the guests that we've had on the podcast. Everyone has gone through the journey of stratospheric success and then going through a process of self-discovery.
Yeah, I think that's very important because you just work, and then you don't know what you're working for anymore.
Correct.
Right? Then you lose all enthusiasm in work. Right? A lot of people go to work, they're dragging feet to work. Do they love what they work? They don't. They're doing for the paycheck at the end of the day, right?
The bills, right?
Yeah, so that becomes a problem now, right? And then after you see people staying in a job for 5 years and then not wanting to quit because they don't know where they can go after that.
That's
it
true.
becomes a vicious cycle, right? And they're not happy, mental health, and their health. It's just one cycle.
And if you're not happy in doing whatever you're doing, it's also hard to find success as well.
Yeah, it's very difficult because your mind's really closed off, right? Because you're really not thinking of things out of the box. You're not thinking how to be better. You're just trying to get through the day.
Which is something we all hope to never be doing, right?
You're just trying to get through the day. And that's that, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's why I started the Singaplex After Office Hours podcast.
Nice, because only after hours.
Because to bring the content to all the people. Where do you see the vision for your career going after having gone through this process of personal and professional transformation?
I want to really, really go into the wellness portion of it. The mental and health.
Wellness.
wellness portion of it,
Oh.
right? So I think in Singapore, there's not a lot of emphasis for men's mental health.
Oh, okay.
That's a very big
Big.
thing that I'm a very strong advocate for,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That is one angle that I want to look at moving
Okay,
forward, right? Be one very strong advocate for mental health. Because I find that men in Singapore, we don't have an outlet, right? It's very difficult for men to talk about emotions.
Yeah.
We
But
already
you talking about emotion, you pussy.
What you upset? You sad? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's difficult for men to talk about
Yeah,
emotions, right? And because growing up, we never were trained to talk about feelings.
Yeah.
If you have a sister, it's okay for your sister to go one corner and cry.
Yeah, correct.
But the men cannot,
Yes, correct.
right?
Lao
Because-
kui, right? Lao kui.
Yeah, so it's very bad, right? So I find that a lot
correct.
of men growing up, they already been molded into this particular thing where they're not comfortable to talk about feelings, right? And then when you talk to another man, you cannot tell them that you're
Yeah.
upset, you're sad,
Yeah.
or you're brokenhearted. You cannot.
Correct. And then until one day we read a newspaper article and we see you swinging a
Yeah.
samurai sword in Yishun.
During COVID, right after COVID, actually, I lost two of my friends
To unaliving.
to
Two of your friends, not your clients, they're friends.
friends.
Yeah, that they are
Yes,
after
yes.
COVID, during COVID.
After,
Not
so,
during.
after.
Oh, okay, wow.
So the mental portion actually kicked in later. So they were struggling with it and nobody knew.
During that duration.
Correct.
Oh,
Nobody
wow.
knew.
Nobody, you couldn't tell. No one.
Couldn't
no,
tell.
there were no signs.
Correct. That's why it's so that's why
Wow,
that's
wow.
why mental health men is so serious because men tend to bottle up a lot of things. We have no outlet. We cannot talk to our friends, we cannot talk to our family because we are always meant to be the one in charge, to be
Yeah,
the one
correct.
in control, to be the one balancing out. Right? We can't talk to our spouses.
That's the very traditional Asian
Yes,
kind of approach,
that's
right?
what
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why we mold already, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, and plus COVID, you know, a lot of people were suffering during COVID. Everybody suffered in their own way.
Yeah.
And I think that all accumulated.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was one thing that really hit me hard.
So
right?
after COVID, then they unalive.
Yeah.
themselves.
Right
Oh,
after,
wow.
yeah. And that was like, it was crazy because nobody believed or nobody could see anything.
That these people would be
Yeah.
the ones to
Not at all.
finish the game earlier. Wow. And why do you think that happened for maybe the first case, if you could share?
I think it's just because of pressure, right? A lot of pressure, family, friends, you know, and it could be anything, right? It could be
Wow.
anything that they are going through at that point of time, and it's very difficult because that person was actually quite a respected person in the industry that he was.
Yeah,
He was a
right.
respected
His
person.
space, yeah.
His space,
Oh.
and for him to do the things he do, it was very shocking. Yeah. So for me,
Yeah,
I felt
yeah.
like okay, it could happen to anybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So for me, that became a wake up call, and I was like, okay. So now I'm very particular. If anybody tell them, if any of my friends see them, they're not well, or they put some sad post on Instagram.
Those are 3 a.m. posts. You are worthy or what? Then you're like, those, one of those Instagram stories.
Yeah. So I always tell them, I say, hey, I'm just a phone call away. If you want to just call. You know, don't call me at night. I try my best to pick it up, but hey, I'll be a phone call away. You know, and I realize that sometimes people just need someone to talk to. You know, just a listening ear, and that could mean a life or death situation.
Wow. And what do you think in like, especially now, developed urban cities like, Singapore? There's of course like South Korea, there's America, and there's Europe, Japan, and increasingly the modern society with all our technology, our advancements, we have not solved this problem of mental health.
I think it's because of the way we are Asians, the ability to talk.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the biggest problem.
So you feel that we don't talk authentically enough?
Yes, we're not educated to talk about our emotions.
Oh, okay.
For men, and that's a problem.
Wow.
That's a very big problem.
And why do you think this lack of education persists?
I think it wasn't really a problem. People didn't really see it a problem because they thought, oh, men are always strong, so it's okay. Until of recent, the numbers start to go up of people,
that unalive
yes,
themselves.
and start to go up, and then people start to say, hey, actually, men also are suffering inside, and
Everyone's
why?
suffering.
Yeah, everyone's suffering, but
yeah.
but men tend to be the one overlooked. Like it's
Oh,
okay,
okay.
the men, they're able to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they start to become like, okay, fine. Let's try to take a look and see how we can help them.
Okay.
Right? So that becomes an opening, right? So and I think with social media, there's a lot of pressure.
There's
a lot of pressure. A
to
lot of
keep
pressure.
the appearances up.
Correct. And that causes added stress.
You are the alpha. Yeah.
So yeah, so that becomes added stress, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
there's so many objective, so many punchlines for men to perform in workplace to be successful, in the family as the head of a thing, with friends to be, the guy, the man.
Yeah. Correct.
So many. And then when you fail in one, you cannot tell people that you fail.
Yeah, true.
You know why? Because people will see you as a failure.
Yeah, they're afraid, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this guy, his business told already.
Yeah. And can you imagine when someone says that? It's not a reflection of how bad you are.
Yeah, correct.
Because businesses, some
External
success,
factors. Yeah.
some successful businessmen fail 9 times,
Yeah,
and then they get
correct.
success on the 10th time, right?
True.
You never have a perfect running business,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
again, you see, people always society makes sure that you have to be successful.
That's
You run a business, that means you must be successful.
Correct,
No,
correct.
there's no rule book that
Or
says
you're in
that.
a career.
Yeah.
You know,
No, there's no rule book that says that. Failures. The more you fail, that's another better way not to
to
fail and to
right,
succeed, right? Yeah,
correct,
so
correct.
that's what
In
it
fact,
is,
the
right?
most successful people have failed so many times
Yes.
that we don't see. It's like that line. What did Michael Jordan say in one of his the legendary Nike commercials? He said, "I fail and fail and fail, and that's why I succeed."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it is what it is, right?
Yeah. That's true.
So I think that's the whole thing. So becoming Mr. World Singapore 2023, one of my main thing that I want to do is to actually step out and talk about men's
Mental health.
mental and physical health.
Wow.
This
Okay.
is very important to me, and it's something that I really hold dear to my heart.
And especially having gone through the process of losing 2 friends
Yes,
to mental health
yes,
issues,
yes,
and this is actually very recent.
Correct. So this is like right after COVID, right?
Wow.
So yeah, so the first year within COVID, like right after that. So to me, that's really, really something that hit home hard.
Yeah.
So for me, if I can like go out there, tell people, and maybe help people to balance themselves out, create a foundation, a small society of men, like-minded men coming together, leaning on each other, helping each other. I think that will be good because then, you never know.
Yeah.
Somebody may need it.
Cigars and Bugattis, guys. No, just joking. Just joking. Down here is like as one of our previous guests, Samuel said, eat, pray, love, baby. Yeah. Down here is meditation and learning the ways of the ninja. Almost a samurai or something like that. So in 2 of the cases whereby you lost your friends, what are the other factors that obstructed everyone's perception to feel that there was anything wrong with these people?
I mean, you see,
their journeys.
people post their life on social media.
Yeah, correct.
The only thing you actually know about someone is on social media.
It's the cigars and the Bugattis.
So the reality is, people post such a beautiful life on social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you will never able to tell. You will never
know the real them. Yeah.
You'll never get to know. You see this guy, wow, luxury yachts, partying, enjoying, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Tomorrow, done.
Jazz music stops.
Yeah. So immediately, so the contrast is so big. Because
Yeah.
social media has, like I said, social media plays a big part. You have to
It's
look
a
for-
lie, guys. Social media is a lie. Except, of course, on the Singaplex After Office Hours podcast. Like and subscribe.
Of course, like and subscribe, okay? So yeah, so social media, as I said, social media plays a big part. So you don't get to, you have to keep up this front, right, on social media. And then because of that, you end up being more sad. When you're sad, you have to be even more sad, right?
Oh, damn.
So,
deeper.
yeah, it just gets worse, right?
Why the last post only 2 likes?
Yeah. People get so attached to that, right? And then their whole perception of reality changes.
Yeah.
If no one likes their post, people don't like me.
Yeah, I
That's
got to
it.
get up these engagement numbers up, baby. The reach is dropping. Yeah.
So yeah, so this is what happens, right?
That's true. What do you think are some of the things that you started to do after going through this experience of losing 2 friends unexpectedly to unaliving? So
to me now I really take mental health seriously. So any clients that I come in, I always ask them, how what's your stress level? So most of my clients, they are kind of like CEOs, celebrities. They have very high stressful
very
jobs,
high,
right?
very,
So I always check in with them. A personal check-in. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
You don't come for training, what's up? Tell me.
Yeah.
I always make a personal check-in
Okay.
to actually see how they're doing, right?
That's
So
true.
to understand, okay, are you okay? And I always check them for the week. how's your week looking like? Is it a stressful week? I always ask my clients that. So I know how to plan my training program and also to anticipate for them. You don't want this guy coming super stressed and then you tekan him and then the guy goes like, training shit, and you go back. Then you feel more stressed, right? So you just need to understand. And sometimes he comes in, he's not 100% why. Why is the client not 100%? You need to understand why. He had a bad day at work, family sucks, what happened? So it's my job to ask the questions.
What are the hurdles in the way?
Correct.
Right.
So that I can actually help him to, okay, you know what? He's not in a good space, let me try to help him.
Yeah, correct.
Right? So when I can help him, his mind-wise,
True.
naturally his body will follow.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And I think that's the thing about Asian society, right? There's always the what I call the public talk and there's the real talk, right? The public talk is like, if a company doesn't do that well, it's like, going forward in Q3, it looks like we are progressing with slower growth. Then you're like, what does that mean?
Very vague, right?
Actually, it's like we are suffering.
You cannot see, right? Yeah.
Why do you think we have, as a society, we've reached this tradition of vague niceties?
Because people don't want to tell you the truth. People don't want to look like a failure.
They're afraid.
They don't want to look like a failure.
Fear.
Yeah, fear. They don't want to say, oh no, I can't do it. Oh no, I feel like shit. Oh no, I failed. Today I feel like shit. I failed. I fuck up. Nobody want to say that.
Nobody
want to take accountability.
Right?
Nobody want to take accountability anymore. Mental health. I think that's the number one thing. I think people should be able to have that one safe space that they can offload in times of that they really need to talk to, and try to find that safe space, and if you can find that safe space, it's great because everybody needs somebody.
That's true.
In all time, and that's very important. If it be a good friend, a spouse, you just able to converse, and talk about feelings, talk about real stuff that actually affect you. Don't just sweep it under the carpet because you never know when it accumulates.
And actually, on that note, that's actually what being a true alpha means. Real talk, right? Real talk, right? Yeah.
I mean, you have to say it. As it is, right?
The true alpha not just looks good, but we try to own the situation.
Yes,
own the situation. Yes. There's no shame in owning the situation, even if it's a bad one.
Yeah. So talking about alpha, right? The funny thing, right? So I created my brand during COVID. I was actually very free. Yeah. Right. So I was like,
because all the gyms are closed.
So financially I wasn't free, but mentally I was free. I didn't have to check in with everybody. I didn't have to do anything. I was like, wow, this is good, man. First time I don't need to work in my life.
Yeah.
And then I realized everybody around me was suffering.
Oh, right.
So I had a break, but everybody was suffering.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had clients who were like, like really going into depression already. So, oh my God, EJ, I'm going into depression. What can I do? So there were people going through that. And through my experience, I said, you know what? It's okay. Come and see me every day. So back then, you couldn't go to the gym, but you could do one-on-one.
Yes, that's true.
Correct?
That's true.
So I would train my clients at the bottom of my condo on a one-on-one training with whatever exercise equipment I had.
Whatever there is.
So I had bands like TRX, we had to be very functional.
Inventive, right?
Be functional. And everybody came in for the workout, they felt good, they went back.
Okay.
And that helped them to live another day better. Really.
Then instead of sinking into the quicksand, it's like,
So that made me think, oh my God, the circumstance is shit.
Correct.
We were taking charge of the circumstance. We were not letting the circumstance
not
control.
letting yourself becoming a victim of the circumstance, right?
So that came up to my brand name. So I wanted to create a brand, right? So I wanted to create a brand and I was like, okay, what brand should I start off with? In the circumstance.
Yes.
So the word alpha, very simple. It means to be in charge. Yes, alpha, to be the one.
Correct.
And in my context, to be the one in charge of your circumstance. To be the alpha in charge of your circumstance and your surrounding.
Yes.
That means you do not allow anything around you to affect your direction and the things that you want to do. To be alpha, to take charge.
That's true.
The beast, right? The beast means your inner beast. To really go to the limits that you cannot achieve. Push yourself to the limits that you yourself bring out another side of you. So that was the whole idea. To be the alpha beast. To take charge of your circumstance and to bring out the inner beast of you to become the new version.
To become the beast of life and not let life be the beast by taking
life
is biting me. That kind of thing. Right? So when life bites you, bite back twice.
Correct. Bite harder. Bite back harder. That's the whole idea, right?
That's true. And nowadays, these kind of words like alpha, some people might interpret it wrongly, right? They say there's all this
Correct.
talk about toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
All these this kind of like anti-alpha kind of thing. So where do you think that there needs to be a balance, right?
Yes.
EJ, there needs to be a
Yes.
balance
Yes.
because you can't have like a world with no alphas either.
Of course.
Yeah.
So very funny thing, like you said, right? So when I started on my brand, right, the brand seemed very masculine,
Yes.
almost too much,
Correct. Yeah.
right? And the first critic that I had, you will not have women coming to train with you, EJ.
That's the first critic.
First critic.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my god,
Wow, that's a bit, yeah.
like very harsh, right?
Yeah.
I was
That's
like, oh
a
my
bit
god.
harsh, right?
I was like, oh my god, is it true?
Yeah.
I'm like, should I change my brand name?
Should I
But that goes
should I
against
bow down to the pressure?
but that goes against the values that I bring to my brand.
That's
My
true.
brand,
that's true.
it goes against.
You must know what your values are, right?
So my brand values are this is my brand values, and I really wanted it. So I said, no, I'm not going to bow down. I will show you that I'm going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I started training it's not about the name, it's about the way you train and the mindset behind the training.
The mindset behind the what alpha means to you. Right.
And it's a mindset, right? And that changed. And I started training 1, 2, 3, and now I have like a good number of women in my team training with me. And nobody cares about the masculinity. It's not about that. It's about them.
Yeah, because even women want to be an alpha in their own domain. Or as
in their own version.
As TikTok says, the boss bitch.
So it's in their own version. They are the alphas in their own version. They are taking charge and control of their situations.
Yeah, the word alpha is not just limited to guys.
Of course. So you see the misconception?
Yes.
So again, when I explain them to the people, they feel empowered. They feel good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of my thing. I want to take control. I want to look good. Yes, take charge. Who's stopping you? Be the alpha.
Yeah. Hot meals and cougars around your area.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of alphas around the neighborhood. Right. Yeah. Bite me. Yeah.
Bite me.
Yeah. So, having gone through, such a holistic personal business transformation, and as well as seeing, the negative, the positive, and the triumphant side of human nature, right? What do you think is one thing that you feel as a society no one has really touched on other than mental health, and you feel it could be done better?
Well, I think the whole ideology of fitness, right? It need not be so complicated.
It need not be so complicated.
Really, it need not be so complicated.
Download this app. Yeah.
It shouldn't be so complicated.
Right.
And I always tell my clients, sometimes less is more.
Less is more.
Because less allows you to create a routine.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because if it's too high maintenance, the routine, like
Too
do
complicated.
you have an oxygen chamber? do you do ice bar, cold plunge in the morning like Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I mean, you see, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You break it down into simple bite-sized chunks for the client. That's as simple as it is.
Okay.
I think people should talk about fitness in such
in
manner.
simplicity.
Yeah, and not be, you have to do the deadlift with half squat plus lunge. And be like, what?
Yeah.
Is that an acrobatic move?
Yeah. I feel like going back to secondary school algebra.
It shouldn't be so difficult.
That's true.
So I always make it as simple as possible, right? So besides mental health, when people want to look at fitness, oh my God, I want to do fitness. It can be so challenging because I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. There's so many things on the internet telling me to do this, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So many diets, so many...
a lot of trends, a lot of fads, and a lot of...
But the human body is as simple as doing the basic things correctly.
thing.
Eat right,
Eat right.
eat on time,
Drink
water.
Drink water.
Yeah, because people don't drink water
Remember
a lot.
to drink water.
Don't drink enough water and to move. As simple as that. Once you do all this,
song, I like to move it.
once you do all this, you see your body reacts.
Okay.
As simple as that.
Because the human body is like
It's meant to evolve.
Yeah,
Our body is meant to evolve.
evolving organism,
Yes.
right?
So we will evolve with the things that we put in our body.
Yes.
Right. So it's as simple as that.
True, that's true. And what do you think is one hope you have for like yourself, your friends, and your clients and those around you?
So I always feel that I always want people to be serious about their health, right? To make small changes, to kind of like make fitness a lifestyle. That's the very important thing. I always tell my clients, tell them, make fitness a lifestyle. Why? Don't make it a destination location. Don't come to me only because.
Because
No.
you're aiming for the six
Yeah,
pack or
don't do that.
or the squats, right?
Yeah, don't do that, because to me that is not what I want you to take away from me. I want you to take away from me that you are able to manage your own health and enjoy the process. That's very important to me. You need to enjoy the process, because that's your health, your body you're talking about, right? And the more you're interested in it, the more you want to do it.
That's true. Because
why-
you cannot keep consistent on something you don't enjoy.
Of course.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So
gonna be
that's
very
that's
hard.
why.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, do things that you love. You know, if you don't like doing squats, then don't squat lah. Do
that's
something
true.
else, right? If you don't like running, cycle. Do something that you like. You know, do something that it keeps your body moving, but also keeps you athletic, right? And then once you find it enjoying, then you start to do things. Then you start to do things out of your own will.
True.
Then it becomes a lifestyle. Yeah.
So move, chill, and drink more water. And hopefully, with all this, we will all be on a better mental health journey.
Yes,
right,
yes,
EJ?
yes. Definitely. Once you take care of your body, you know, you start to feel good. Then you start to, normally when you look good, you start to feel good. Then your mental health gets into good, right? Confidence and all that. So everything comes into play, right? So it's like trying to mesh everything together and have a good balance.
That's true. And I think on that note, the word balance, this has been an epic and interesting podcast. And we hope that all of you out there will eat right, have balance, and drink more water.
Drink more water.
Until next time, like, subscribe, and hope that you're going to do well mentally, physically, wherever you are. This has been the Singaplex After Office Hours podcast. Thanks, EJ.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time.